हेलो एवरीवन। एक बार फिर मैं रजनी मीना, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इंग्लिश, गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज रावतवाटा, आप सभी का मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल इंग्लिश ट्यूटोरियल में स्वागत करती हूँ। टुडे वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट विलियम बटलर यीट्स। William Butler Yeats was an Irish poet and one of the foremost figure of 20th century literature. A pillar of the Irish literary establishment, he helped to found the Abbey Theatre and in his later years served 2 terms as a senator of the Irish Free State. He was driving force behind the Irish literary revival along with Lady Gregory, Edward Martyn and others. He became fascinated by Irish legend and occult. These topics feature in the first page of his work, which lasted roughly until the turn of the 20th century. His early volumes of verse was published in 1889, and its slow-paced and lyrical poems display depths to Edmund Spenser, Percy Shelley, and the poets of the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. From 1900, his poetry grew more physical and realistic. He largely renounced the transcendental beliefs of his youth, though he remained preoccupied with physical and spiritual masks as well as with cyclical theory of life. In 1923, he was awarded Nobel Prize in Literature. His early years. William Butler Yeats was born in Sandymount in County Dublin, Ireland on 13 June 1865. His father, John Butler Yeats, was a descendant of Jervis Yeats, a Williamite soldier, linen merchant and well-known painter who died in 1712. Benjamin Yeats, Jervis' grandson and William's great-great-grandfather, had in 1773 married Mary Butler of a landed family in County Kildare. Following their marriage, they kept the name Butler. Mary was one of Butler's Niam Gowran family, descended from an illegitimate brother of the 8th Earl of Ormond. At the time of his marriage, William's father, John Yeats, was studying law and would later pursue at art studies at Heatherley School of Fine Art in London. William's mother, Susan Mary Pollexfen, came from Sligo from a wealthy merchant family which owned a milling and shipping business. Soon after William's birth, the family relocated to the Pollexfen home at Marville, Sligo, to stay with her extended family, and the young poet came to think of the area as his childhood and spiritual home. Its landscape became over time, both personally and symbolically, his country of the heart. So too did its location by the sea. John Yeats stated that by marriage with the Pollexfen, we have given a tongue to the sea cliff. The Butler Yeats family were highly artistic. His brother Jack became a steam painter, while his sister Elizabeth, Susan Mary, became known to family and friends as Lolly and Lily, became involved in the art and craft movement. Yeats was raised a member of the Protestant ascendancy, which was at the time undergoing a crisis of identity. While his family was broadly supportive of the changes, Ireland was experiencing the nationalist revival of the late 19th century directly disadvantages his heritage and informed his outlook for the remainder of his life. In 1997, his biographer R. F. Forrester observed that Napoleon's dictum that to understand the man you have to know what was happening in the world when he was 20 is manifestly true of W. B. Yeats. Yeats' childhood and Yeats' adulthood was shadowed by the power shift away from the minority Protestant ascendancy. 1880 saw the rise of Charles Stewart Parnell and the Home Rule movement. In the 1890 saw the momentum nationalism, while the Catholics became prominent around the turn of the century. This development had a profound effect on his poetry, and his subsequent exploration of Irish identity had a significant influence on the creation of his country's biography. In 1867, the family moved to England to aid their father John to further his career as an artist. At first, the Yeats children were educated at home. Their mother entertained them with stories and Irish folk tales. John provided an eclectic education in geography and chemistry and took William on natural history exploration of the nearby Slough countryside. On 26 January 1877, the young poet entered the Godolphin School, which he attended for 4 years. He did not distinguish himself academically, and an early school report describes his performance as only fair, perhaps better in Latin than in any other subject. Very poor in spelling, though he had difficulty with mathematics and languages. He was fascinated by biology and zoology. In 1879, the family moved to Bedford Park, taking a 2-year lease on 8 Woodstock Road. For financial reasons, the family returned to Dublin toward the end of 1880, living at first in the suburb of Herald's Cross and later Howth. In October 1881, Yeats resumed his education at Dublin's Erasmus Smith High School. His father's studio was nearby, and William spent a great deal of time there, where he met many of the city's artists and writers. During this period, he started writing poetry, and in 1885, Dublin University Review published Yeats' first poem as well as an essay entitled The Poetry of Sir Samuel Ferguson between 1884 and 1886. William attended the Metropolitan School of Art, now the National College of Art and Design, in Thomas Street. In March 1888, the family moved to 3 Blenheim Road in Bedford Park, where they would remain until 1902. He began writing his first work when he was 17 years old. These included a poem heavily influenced by Percy Bysshe Shelley that describes a magician who set up a throne in Central Asia. Other pieces from this period include a draft of a play about a bishop, a monk, and a woman accused of paganism by local shepherds, as well as love poems and narrative lyrics on German knights. The early works were both conventional and, according to the critic Charles Johnston, utterly un-Irish, seeming to come out of a vast murmurous gloom of dreams. Although Yeats' early works drew heavily on Shelley, Edmund Spenser, and on the diction and colouring of pre-Raphaelite words, He soon turned to Irish mythology and folklore and the writings of William Blake. In later life, Yeats paid tribute to Blake by describing him one of the great artificers of God who uttered great truth to a little clan. In 1891, Yeats published John Sermons and Dhova. The influence of Oscar Wilde is evident in Yeats' theory of ethics, especially in his stage play, and run like a motif through his early works. The theory of masks developed by Wilde in his polemic The Decay of Lying can clearly be seen in Yeats' play The Player Queen, while the more sensual characterization of Salon in Wilde's play of the same name provides the template for the changes Yeats made in his later plays, especially on Valley's Strand, Deirdre, and his dance play The King of the Great Clock Tower, 1934. Keats, W. V. Yeats as a young poet. The family returned to London in 1887. In March 1890, Yeats joined the Hermetic Order of Golden Dawn and with Ernest Ryers co-founded the Rhymers Club, a group of London-based poets who met regularly in a Fleet Street tavern to recite their verse. Yeats later sought to mythologize the collective, calling it the tragic generation in his autobiography, and published two anthologies of the Rhymers' work. The first one is 1892 and the second one in 1894. He collaborated with Edwin Ellis on the first complete edition of William Blake's works. In the process, rediscovering a forgotten poem, Bala or the Four Jiyas. Yeats had a lifelong interest in mysticism, spiritualism, occultism, astrology. He read extensively on the subject throughout his life. He became a member of the paranormal research organization, the Ghost Club, and was especially influenced by the writings of Emanuel Swedenborg. As early as 1892, he wrote, "If I had not made magic my contest study, I could not have written a single word of my black book, nor would the Countess Kathleen ever have come to exist. The mystical life in the center of all that I do and that I think and all that I write." His mystical interest also inspired by a study of Hinduism under the Theosophist Mohini Chatterjee, and the occult formed much of the basis of his late poetry. Some critics disparaged this aspect of Yeats' work. His first significant poem was The Island of Statues, a fantasy work that took Edmund Spenser and Shelley for its poetic models. That piece was serialized in the Dublin University Review. Yeats wished to include it in his first collection, but it was deemed too long, and in fact it was never republished in his lifetime. Konex Books published the poem in complete form for the first time in 2014. His first solo publication was the pamphlet Mosada, a dramatic poem, 1886, which comprised a print run of 100 copies paid by his father. This was followed by the collection The Wanderings of Oisin and other poems, which arranged a series of verses that dated as far as the mid 1880s. The long title poem contains, in the words of his biographers R. F. Foster, obscure Gaelic name, striking repetition and an unremitting rhythm subtly varied as the poem proceeded through its three sections. During 1885, Yeats was involved in the formation of Dublin Hermetic Order. The society held its first meeting on 16 June, with Yeats acting as its chairman. The same year, the Dublin Theosophical Laws was opened in conjunction with Brahmin Mohini Chatterjee, who travelled through the Theosophical Society in London to lecture. Yeats attended his first seance through the following year. He later became heavily involved with the Theosophy and with Heretism, particularly with the eclectic Vicarism of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. During seance held from 1912, a spirit calling itself Leo Africanus apparently claimed it was Yeats' demon or anti-self, inspiring some of the speculation in Per Abaca Silentia Lunae. He was admitted into the Golden Dawn in March 1890 and took the magical motto. He was an active recruiter of the sect Isis Urmenia Temple and brought into his uncles George Folexfen Morgan and Florence Farr. Thank you. Next video we will discuss more about W.V. Yeats.